from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Now live at 5, people still shocked by that horrible accident outside of Shinola this time yesterday. A 73-year-old man injured has now passed away, making this a homicide investigation.
A man appeared in court today facing serious charges after police say he shot and killed a 17-year-old boy over a pair of Jordans.
All right, Coco, but we're going to begin with the weather and a chance of storms before Mother Nature really cranks up the heat for the weekend. Glad you're with us this Friday at 5. This storm chance that we have right now might be our only shot at rain for a while.
And you know what? We need it. Let's get over to Ben, who is tracking the radar for us and the high heat on the way.
Yeah, definite, Sandra. You never want to see showers or thunderstorms in the afternoon commute, but in this case, it may be good to get a few drops of rain out there because considering what we've got coming this weekend, we're going to need it. Not much going on here on 4 Live radar until you get up north. This stuff's going to stay away from us, but there could be a few more showers or storms popping later on this afternoon and evening. I don't think that many of us are going to see that, however. And of course, the other story is going to be the heat. Looking back to the west, Chicago's already into the 80s. Bismarck almost at 100 degrees right now, 99 up there. We will be seeing the 90s for the first time this year, and that's going to be coming on Sunday. But until then, enjoy our last mild, seasonable night. Temperatures in the 70s through 8 o'clock will fall into the 60s. And again, still the possibility of a shower or storm, but I think most of us get through tonight dry. We'll talk heat, we'll talk humidity, and it is going to be lasting for a while. That's all in a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben, our other top story tonight, a man has died from his injuries after an out-of-control driver hit 4 people outside of the Shinola store in Midtown.
If you were with us yesterday, this happened right around 5:30. The 74-year-old victim was hit and then pinned underneath a camper. Sean Lay live along Canfield now. And Sean, we've learned new things about the driver now.
We certainly have, guys. Here's the very latest. This happened just about 24 hours ago right here. Here's Shinola on Canfield. Now, police, here's what's happening on their end. They have drawn the blood of the driver here, doing a toxicology report. Results on that not yet back. But as you mentioned, this older gentleman hit and he succumbed to his injuries overnight, turning this accident into a homicide investigation. Life is back to normal on Canfield in Midtown. Tourists are out enjoying the day, hitting the shops. Just after 5 yesterday, it was chaos here. An out-of-control driver runs his pickup into a Tesla car event in front of trendy Shinola. 4 people are hit. Today we learn that a 73-year-old man who was hit died of multiple injuries after he was hit and pinned under another vehicle. Mosiel Fleming walks through here each day. It's the first time he's heard that this accident has now turned into a homicide case.
Ooh. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. It's heartfelt. It's sad.
The 42-year-old driver of the pickup was arrested on the spot. Sources say the driver did not have a valid license, that he was allegedly high on Xanax and the drug ecstasy and alcohol. Police had samples of the driver's blood tested today. It was a shocking scene on what is typically a fun, relaxing place to visit.
He hit them head on, and all 3 of them flew way up in the air. It was terrible.
The 3 others that were hit, one was treated at the scene. The 2 others are in stable condition tonight. Back here live, the witnesses that were out here continue to talk to us about how just horrific this accident was. But with so many people coming up and down to the different shops here, more people are surprised that more people actually weren't hit. That's how out of control this driver was. Devin, he has not yet been charged. Police still waiting for those blood tests, the toxicology, to come back to them. Well,
Sean, between Shinola and Filson and everything that's along there, you'd expect there might be cameras around. Any security footage that might be available?
Up and down the block, but I'm told this building that has Nest and City Bird here has cameras pointed right at the accident. The owner of the building turned the video over right to police. Yeah. Police are hopeful that it will tell them exactly what happened. Yeah, let's hope so. What an awful story. All right, Sean. Now, to developing news right now, a man has been formally charged in the deadly shooting that happened over a pair of Air Jordan shoes.
This is video right here of Dante Tyrell Ford appearing in court. This was just a short time ago, charged now with felony murder. Let's get to Coco McAboy, who is live. And Coco, this isn't the only crime that he's charged with.
Yes, Sandra and Devin, that's right. Dante Ford is charged in 2 separate crimes, both all over a pair of Air Jordans. And in one of those incidents, a 17-year-old boy was shot and killed. And as you're about to see, Ford is now facing a number of serious charges.
Case number 170-58505, people of the state of Michigan versus Dante Tyrell Ford.
Dante Tyrell Ford appeared before a judge today for his arraignment.
These charges arise out of an incident that allegedly occurred June 6, 2017.
That incident ended in the death of 17-year-old Corey Harris Thomas. Police say Harris Thomas arranged to sell a pair of Jordans to Ford. But when Harris Thomas and his 24-year-old friend met up with Ford, Ford allegedly pulled out a gun and fired shots, leading to today's charges.
Count 4. Homicide, felony murder in the area of Pinehurst near Fenkell. This is a felony with a maximum penalty of life without parole.
Ford is also facing charges for a robbery earlier that day, when police say he robbed a 16-year-old at gunpoint for his pair of Air Jordans. And on top of that,
there's also a habitual offender third offense notice. Because of prior convictions, the maximum penalty could be increased to twice the maximum sentence on the primary offense or a lesser term.
Now Ford will be behind bars as his case makes its way through court.
Mr. Ford, did you hear the charges against you and the penalties that you could receive?
Yes, ma'am.
And some of those charges include armed robbery, murder, and felony firearm. He'll be back in court next week for a probable cause hearing and back in court the week after that, as his his case continues through court, and we'll, of course, continue to follow his case as well. Back to you.
And Coco, did you have a chance at all? Have you spoken with Harris Thomas's family?
Yes, I spoke briefly with his mother today, and she says she's having a very difficult time. Of course, you can just imagine what she's going through, but the funeral arrangements have been set for next Wednesday for her son, and she, of course, also has a GoFundMe page, and we're going to put that link up on our website, clickondetroit.com.
All right. Thank you, Coco. Devin?
Well, after remaining silent on James Comey's testimony all day yesterday, the president no longer holding back. He teed off on the former FBI director at a news conference that occurred just a short time ago, calling him a leaker and a liar. Blaine Alexander following it for us tonight in Washington. Blaine?
Well, Devin, this was a news conference with the president of Romania, but the headlines were about Comey and those tapes. James Comey's headline-grabbing testimony giving way to a tidal wave of reaction, most notably from the president who fired him.
No collusion, no obstruction. He's a leaker.
President Trump claiming total vindication after Comey's testimony.
We were very, very happy, and frankly, James Comey confirmed a lot of what I said, and some of the things that he said just weren't true.
From Republicans, outrage at Comey's admission that he had a friend share memos about his interactions with the president to the press, now prompting the president's personal attorney to file a leak complaint against Comey. The question, were those memos classified?
This is not some diary. This strikes me as these are FBI documents. He wrote them on a FBI computer.
Leak, I think, is the wrong term for this. This is what Jim Comey provided to a friend was a recollection as a private citizen.
The president calls some of those recollections lies and says he is willing to testify under oath.
100%.
In the battle of words between the two, from both Democrats and Republicans, a push for solid evidence. Were their conversations taped, as President Trump suggested?
I'm not hinting anything. I'll tell you about it over a very short period of time. Oh, you're going to be very disappointed when you hear the answer. Don't worry.
Responding to questions, but providing very few answers. And here on Capitol Hill, the calls from both parties are growing louder. If those tapes do actually exist, they need to be released immediately. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
Blaine, in fact, 2 letters from the House Intelligence Committee have now formally requested both Comey's notes and any tapes that may exist from the White House. A 47-year-old man is expected to be okay after a shooting that happened on Detroit's west side.
The victim says he pulled up to a friend's house on 30th Street last night. It was around 11:30 when 3 men walked up to the car. And that's when the victim claims he tried to speed away, but one of the men opened fire. The driver was grazed in the stomach, but managed to drive himself to the hospital. All 3 men are still on the run. In Midtown, quick thinking by a local resident helped stop a potentially dangerous fire. That fire broke out around 9:30 this morning at an apartment on West Alexandrine when something on one of the residents' stoves caught fire. Fortunately, the person living in that apartment, well, they acted quickly to put it out. No injuries were reported.
Detroit police say they have nabbed a pair of teen carjackers.
Coming up new tonight, the one thing they did that helped police get them in custody quickly.
Also, a great reason to get outside. New tonight, we'll show you a fun thing to do that won't cost you a dime this weekend. Nick?
In the dining world here in Metro Detroit, kind of a bombshell was dropped early this morning. Sweet Lorraine's Cafe here in Southfield is closing, but that's not the end of Sweet Lorraine's. I'll tell you what her plans are next.
New at 6.
A 10-year-old girl wakes up alone on a school bus in a place she doesn't recognize. New at 6, what she, her mother, and the school district have to say about it.
Also, when the school year ends, so do the school lunches, but there is a program many families aren't aware of that could help fill the summer nutrition gap. That's coming up at 6 too.
You know, in an industry that's often fly-by-night, Sweet Lorraine's has stood the test of time.
It sure has. The restaurant at 13 Mile in Greenfield has been a staple of the community now for 35 years. But you know the saying about all good things having to come to an end. Nick Monticelli caught up with the restaurant's namesake today and shows us while the flagship is shutting down, her work is far from over. Nick?
I'm sure it came as a shock to many of you that Sweet Lorraine's here in Southfield is closing. This restaurant, I'm sure, is going to be packed over the next couple of weeks. But there is some good news on the front. Sweet Lorraine will still be around.
Hello, everyone.
Lorraine Plattman will be the first one to tell you her kitchen inside Sweet Lorraine's Cafe in Southfield isn't anything fancy.
We garnish everything with fresh food.
But it's the food, the people, and the experience that makes them one of the best, as noted by what she calls her brag wall.
Since 1984, you know, we have been written up by every publication in the Detroit area. My biggest celebrity in here was Andy Warhol. Oh. And he signed my menu.
And it's her menu and her personality that made this cafe so popular. It opened in the early 80s after Plattman outgrew the little deli they started in.
I worked in the dish room at Michigan State Dome. That was my closest I came to working in a restaurant.
But after nearly 35 years, Lorraine has decided to close. Severe arthritis in her hands and neck and even more severe back pain forced a decision.
And I tried to be English and elegant and not lying on the floor screaming in pain because my hamstring is pulling.
Her and her husband Gary say breaking the news to their nearly 75 staff was incredibly emotional. They're hoping to find them positions in one of the other Sweet Lorraine's restaurants or the franchises. But equally important is her extended family, the guests, and many have been calling today to say thank you.
My guests have been so amazing. And I really care about them.
Well, Sweet Lorraine, I'm pretty sure the feeling is mutual. In Southfield, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Yeah, no doubt, Nick. Sweet Lorraine's in Southfield closes June 25th, but Lorraine is not retiring. Currently working on converting a sports bar and also opening a new Sweet Lorraine's Lake Tavern in Waterford, which there she says she will be taking on a little less responsibility. We'll see.
Yeah, that's what she says now,
People who move
right?
at full throttle have sometimes a hard time throttling down. The Powerball jackpot is now at a hefty $435 million.
And the cash option, $273 million. So if a Michigan player matches all 5 white balls and the Powerball, it would become the largest lottery prize won in our state. There's still time. You can buy your potentially winning ticket. The next drawing is set for tomorrow night, Saturday night. And of course, you can see the winning numbers right here on Local 4 tomorrow.
Does that just sound like tax problems to you, Ben, to win 200? What was the cash? 275.
Right? 273. More money, more problems.
That's it.
But you know what? You could probably buy an air conditioner for everybody in Michigan with that kind of money. Not that I'm suggesting.
No, just yesterday we launched Bailey & Sons.
That's true, and that was going to help me retire. Right. I got to rethink that. Yeah. But yeah, we need to switch into summer mode quick because things are a change. And look at the pattern that's really going to start moving once we get into tonight. The mild temperatures still out there, and they will be at least to start tomorrow morning. But the heat is going to be coming in quick. By tomorrow afternoon, we'll already be into the 80s. And then much of this upcoming forecast, if we're not technically in the 90s, we're going to be awfully close to it. This takes us through Tuesday, and you can see that this pattern really not going to start to change until Wednesday. We may knock off a few degrees going into midweek, and that's really out of respect for a possible shower or storm. The chances don't look good, and even if they show up, we're still talking upper 80s at that point. So it is going to be a tremendous stretch of not only warm but hot weather. Here's the other thing. There's an ozone action day out to the western part of Michigan. You can see all these counties that are lit up here are under an air quality alert. Even though we're not in there right now, once we get later into this stretch of hot weather, we could start seeing some issues with air quality here in our corner of the state. But outside right now, it is beautiful. 76. We'll call it partly cloudy out there at Metro. A little bit of a wind. Humidity still not a factor. It will be late Sunday and into Monday. That's when it becomes more noticeable. But until then, it's going to be a gorgeous night to enjoy. We still have at least the chance, as we talked about at the top of the show, of getting a shower or maybe a thunderstorm in here. Right now, there's nothing showing up on the radar until you get into northern lower Michigan. The model really has got a lot of stuff on top of us right now, which obviously is not happening. So not putting a lot of faith in that. However, if something were to pop up, it will be fading probably about sunset tonight. So after 10, 11 o'clock, we'll look for dry conditions. Clouds start to break up. And then with all that sunshine tomorrow, here comes the heat, and it is not going anywhere anytime soon. So one more nice night tonight as temperatures will drop into the 50s in some locations, but also into the low 60s. You can see into Sunday we're going to have sunshine as well. We'll call it 61 here in the city, and we will be dry before midnight if those showers manage to actually form again here in the evening hours. Let's go to your 4-zone forecast. As high temperatures tomorrow. Still a big switch from what we saw today, 87 in Detroit, and probably right there at the airport as well. I think we'll escape 90 degrees even in our south zone. It looks like mid-80s will be what we can expect in the afternoon on Saturday. West zone temperatures anywhere between 84 in Fenton and 87, one of the warm spots in Flint. Not a whole lot cooler here in our north zone. Even folks who are going to be near the water, near Lake Huron, still going to be in the low 80s for high temperatures. Inland locations in the mid-80s for high temperatures as we get into Saturday. Here comes Sunday with that 90-degree number. That'll be the first time we see it this season. Monday, Tuesday, all in the 90s, and Wednesday, even if we're technically at 89, we're going to be awfully close to that mark all the way through Friday of next week. And those morning lows, no relief because the humidity starts rolling in, and that's going to keep those temperatures elevated in the morning too.
Splash right into summer.
Got to switch gears fast.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Thank you, Ben.
Doc?
It's an illness that may seem out of season. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Tonight at 5, the virus that's catching some people off guard and the symptoms you should watch out for.
All right, Frank, but first we've got stories from across Michigan, including a tragedy as this apartment complex goes up in flames. Across Michigan tonight, we've got stories from up north on the Straits of Mackinac. Also a great reason for getting outside this weekend.
But we want to go ahead and start with a tragedy in Burton. That's where a massive fire forced dozens of people to evacuate from a senior living apartment complex. That fire broke out around 7 last night, flames shooting out of units as high as the 9th floor. One of the residents suffered a burn on her arm. 2 firefighters were treated for heat exhaustion, but other than that, everyone was okay. At this point, it's still not clear how the fire started. A full investigation is now underway.
Up north, pipelines beneath the Straits of Mackinac are going to be undergoing some much needed and very closely watched tests this weekend. Pipeline company Enbridge is conducting federally required pressure tests on 2 oil pipelines beneath the Straits. The first of the tests is going to happen on Saturday. The other will actually be coming later this month. The pipes were built back in 1953. The company is hoping these tests will prove that they are still in usable shape, though there have been a lot of worries to the contrary for some time. We'll see what the tests show.
Michigan's free fishing weekend officially kicks off tomorrow, and across the state, the Department of Natural Resources will be putting on events including local fishing tournaments, casting contests, and fishing lessons for kids. So regardless of whether or not you have a fishing license or not, this is your weekend. This weekend, you are free to explore the water and do all the fishing your heart desires.
This has got Sandra Ali written
I knew
all
you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give it a shot.
Give it a go.
Once.
Well, this is the time. It's free. It just starts within a lifetime.
Or maybe not.
Maybe not. Sean bait the hook for me. Back with more in just a minute.
New at 5:30.
A $32 million project will transform this vacant lot in Midtown into affordable housing.
We are going to make sure there is room for everyone.
We'll tell you more about the plan and how people who work and live in the city of Detroit are responding.
Orange barrel alert. A major Metro Detroit freeway closure already getting underway for the weekend.
A carjacking here on Detroit's west side caught on camera. Take a look. In fact, the teen you see in this crystal clear video, it was his third carjacking in one night. But as you can see, this time he was surrounded by HD cameras.
And the quality of the green light versus the quality of the video that most of the people are putting in, it's night and day.
Next, I'll show you all of that video and also tell you how Detroit police quickly caught these guys.
It's dinner time. Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
The video is clear as day. Project Greenlight cameras helped nab a pair of suspected teenage carjackers. Police say the teen in that video was working with a friend to carjack people on the city's west side.
So they've hit 3 different locations, and the last location had those Project Greenlight cameras helping police make an arrest. We bring in Sean Lay. In the video, Sean, they just walked up and stole the car.
They absolutely did. All caught on camera. Police are telling me tonight this is another big win for those green light cameras because the 2 suspects, there's not just one, there's another guy also. They were really on a carjacking roll. Green light gas station video captures the carjacking from start to finish. 12:30 a.m. last Friday. A 28-year-old woman is filling up at the Citgo at Schoolcraft in Greenfield. A 16-year-old man approaches. Words are exchanged and he grabs her Chevy Cobalt. It's a carjacking caught clear as day on the city's green light security cameras. Investigators with the Commercial Auto Theft Unit were looking at this crime go down just moments after it happened.
Our detectives here at Commercial Auto Theft have access to the green light cameras, so that gives us quicker response time, ability to quickly identify who the suspects are. So once we were able to look at the video, we deployed people over to the area, found the car rather quickly within 2 hours.
That's right. Investigators found the car and they waited. 2 suspects came right back to it and they were busted. The 16-year-old and a 17-year-old arrested on the spot. Turns out this was their 3rd carjacking of the night.
It looks like they were just using cars and then possibly trying to get anything they could get money-wise from the people.
One of those teens was armed. Green light businesses, cameras, and police all teaming up to put the red light up for these teens.
And the quality of the green light versus the quality of the video that most of the people are putting in, it's night and day.
Night and day with the quality of those HD cameras. Look, that guy just didn't come into view at one green light camera. There was a green light camera right next door as well at the Valero gas station. He was essentially surrounded by cameras when he decided to launch this crime. He's going to be charged with those 3 carjackings. His 17-year-old partner, police say he was found with a number of guns when they arrested him. He'll be facing felony gun crimes. Devin,
well, Sean,
Sandra, back to you.
What are we hearing about the victim? How's the victim doing tonight?
Yeah, that looked like a scary situation there. Couldn't really tell if that guy was armed or not, but we are told by police that she is just fine and she got her car back.
Which is great to hear. All right, Sean. Well, get set because summer's going to start now, whether it's June 21st or not.
Yeah, it's a hot weekend ahead. Here we go.
We've been talking about this for days, and I'm not ready for it. I don't know if anybody else is, but here it comes. In fact, the clouds have actually broken up in parts of the area already, allowing at least our south zone to move into the 80s. 81 in Monroe, Adrian, one of the warm spots right now at 83. Even Ann Arbor's picked up an 80-degree temperature. But where these clouds have broken up and the sunshine's managed to hit the surface, it looks like that is starting to fire up. Some of these showers that right now are out just off to the east of Lansing, so they'll be rolling a little bit closer to us. Again, don't be surprised to hear thunder and maybe a flash of lightning out there, but we are not anticipating anything severe out of this. And let's hope we get all we can, because this is going to be the last chance we've got of rain until the middle of next week. And considering these temperatures, we need every drop we can get. 87 tomorrow, 90 on Sunday. That'll be the beginning of the heat wave, at least technically. And we'll show you how long that heat's going to last coming up in a few minutes, guys.
All right, thank you, Ben. The clock ticking now for the company that owns the Silver Dome. Triple Investment Group had until today to turn in paperwork that would allow demolition of the Silverdome to begin. Pontiac officials say they are ready to finalize that plan. They call the former home of the Lions a symbol of the past. Pontiac also filed a nuisance lawsuit against the Silverdome's owner. Both sides had then agreed for the owner to find a demolition contractor by the end of today. Midtown has some of the hottest real estate in the city these days, and now it's about to get even hotter.
Soon, the vacant lot at the corner of John R. and Garfield will be transformed, and in the end, it is going to look like this. A $32 million complex, 84 brand new apartments. Let's bring in Coco McAboy. And Coco, a big part of this is the fact that a lot of these apartments are going to be affordable housing.
That's right, Devin and Sandra. That's what this is really all about. And I want to show you the area where this is happening. You can see there's a development behind me. There's a development across the street. And then there's this vacant lot. And city officials say they're hoping to transform this lot into an apartment complex. They say it's about fighting economic segregation, and people who live in the city and work in the city are on board with that plan. The landscape in the city of Detroit is forever changing with new developments and new residents.
We want people not to just come here for entertainment or we want people to live here.
Glenn Maxwell is a longtime Midtown resident and avid biker.
I skedaddle through all the different areas.
He wants to see some change when it comes to housing in Midtown.
It needs to be available to diverse cultures and economics.
Chi Ugona agrees. She works at the VA hospital downtown.
I can't afford any of the apartments or the condos around here.
But the city has been addressing those concerns and unveiled a new project on Garfield today that'll transform this vacant lot into apartments. More than 20 units will be set aside for people making between $26,000 and $40,000.
We had a vision that everybody should be able to afford to live in this neighborhood.
Creating a diverse mixture of new residents and longtime residents who have been a part of Detroit's landscape for years now.
They deserve some credit and they deserve support because they're people that have stayed here and have believed in the city forever.
And city officials have been working on a lot of these affordable housing projects, 20 to be exact, across Midtown and downtown Detroit. And I'm sure there will be plenty more to come. Back to you.
So what's the timetable here, Coco? When does it look like this gets underway?
So this has to go before City Council first, and they expect that by the end of the year. And then they say they're hoping to break ground in September of next year.
All right, going to be fun to watch. All right, Coco.
Well, it looks like there will be no bail for a national security agency contractor accused of leaking a top secret document on Russians' election hacking. During Reality Winner's court appearance today, federal prosecutors said they believe the 25-year-old had plans to release even more classified information. Now federal agents are looking to see if the winner may have stolen more classified documents. The agents believe the documents may be on a missing flash drive that she allegedly inserted into a top secret computer.
British Prime Minister Theresa May is forging on after her attempt to gain a bigger Conservative majority in UK's Parliament completely backfired. Britain's snap election Thursday ended overnight with May's Conservative Party still winning, but not as many seats, and they lost their majority. It was the Prime Minister herself who asked to hold what's known as a snap election in hopes of forming a government that would lead Britain through the Brexit talks. But now the opposition Labour Party is calling for May to resign after her gamble fell short.
Lost support and lost confidence. I would have thought that's enough to go, actually.
More than anything else, this country needs a period of stability.
May is trying to form a coalition with a political party in Northern Ireland, but the election results are making Britain's departure from the European Union a bit more complicated. It's going to be fascinating to watch how it all plays out. A new video from a festival in Illinois shows some terrifying moments, a man falling from a hot air balloon.
Oh, Jesus.
He's going to blow up.
Please, please, please.
He's hanging off the...
Oh, my God. Oh. That's a wind. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my goodness, listening to them. This all started when two of the balloons collided. One crashed, the other just spun out of control. The video shows the operator actually falling out of the balloon when it hits the ground. Two passengers were still left inside. Amazingly, the balloon descended without any more injuries. That operator was taken to the hospital, but we are told tonight that he will be okay.
It wasn't exactly a soft landing the way it went down either. Well, there's a well-known movie called The Endless Summer. It was a great album by the Beach Boys too, but this year parts of California dealing with an endless winter.
Yeah, and Ben is here now, and they got, I guess, so much snow this winter that it kind of changed everything.
I consider this a public service announcement, considering what we've got for a forecast, and then watch this. It is June 9th. And this is what it looks like.
Whoa.
Yeah, out at the Mammoth Mountain ski area, which is near Reno. They still have 8 feet of snow at the peaks. So you could call this heaven for skiers and snowboarders. It is so good that Mammoth says that they plan to be open every day into August.
Wow.
Yeah. In the end, it's insane. This is expected to be the longest that the chairlifts have continuously operated on that mountain ever. And if that's not enough, parts of Idaho and Montana could see 6 inches of snow this weekend. And I thought for a little perspective, I'd share a little vacation photo with you. This is me 3 years ago, almost to the day. That's in Squaw Valley, which is just to the north of Mammoth. And you can see there's a little bit of snow up there near the peaks, but we were in shorts hiking up that mountain.
T-shirts.
And feeling fantastic. So things have really changed out there in California, which is good that they got out of the drought. But
Right. But
skiing on
its
July
own problems.
4th?
Yeah.
And
Incredible.
they'll make it to August and then maybe have to close for 3 weeks before it snows again.
Take a little vacation and then come back.
Probably a record for them, right? Did you mention that?
Yes, they've had hundreds of inches of snow on some of those peaks out there, which is just something they have never seen.
8 feet in June. Amazing. All right, Ben. Detroit now has a new class of heroes ready to start saving lives.
A graduation ceremony held today for 46 brand new firefighters and 11 new EMT workers. The ceremony took place this morning at Cobo Hall here in downtown Detroit. The Mayor Mike Duggan, was there at the ceremony. In fact, he talked to the graduating class who will now help the city's fire department. This is Detroit's first class of new firefighters to graduate since April of 2015.
Congratulations to each and every one. Well, 2 police officers in Texas go well beyond the call of duty.
Find out what they did to help a 95-year-old man who was in desperate need.
And there's one thing you won't be seeing at this year's Woodward Dream Cruise. We'll tell you about a big change in just a minute. Doc?
It's an illness that may seem out of season. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, the virus that's catching some people off guard and the symptoms you should watch out for.
Jeopardy!